Hello everyone and welcome to another update for MLOps on the SEG, on this incubation engineer here at GitLab. This week is going to be a very short one. I'm going to talk about what I did last week and this week, so nothing much. Following up on the previous update that we had, where I shared what I'll be working on in the next few months, I would say. There are four areas that we are mainly looking at. First is rendered Jupyter Notebook diffs, Glitter, running pipelines for data science within GitLab, increasing awareness of the data science use cases within GitLab, and analytics repository. So these are the four areas. I'm going to start splitting my updates on this one. So for the first one, render notebook diffs, what I've been working on is mostly adding the capacity or the ability for users to change, to swap between the raw and the rendered diff or the cleaner diff for now. So we are moving forward with this. So for example, on this commit here, I have these buttons, but they will be working later. Just swap between the versions. And on this one, we can already see that we have both the classic diff, but also the cleaner diff. I have to implement now the hiding between one and another, but at least this part is done. We have both of them coexisting, and now we need to move on and implement sharing the comments. For example, here the comment is on line 67 of the classic of the raw, but it shouldn't be on line 67 of the cleaner diff. So this is something that we need to work on. Moving on, we have Glitter, which we didn't do anything this week. Nothing to be out over here. Next, we have internal awareness of data science use cases. On this one, what we're trying to do here is to help the company understand the use case that we're talking about. It's not enough to have one large stage, I believe, to be working on MLOps. Of course, this is great and will really push the product forward. But in addition to that, it's great if the stages that already exist, the people that we already have, start assimilating these use cases as well. So what we did on this, I recorded a session with Nadia, which is a product designer on Verify stage. Just explaining on my perspective how data scientists use GitLab. We'll be working on more additions to this style coming soon, but it's a start. I'll be linking I'll be adding the links into my issue update. And the fourth area, a little bit more exploratory, that we want to work on is analytics repository. Just a reminder of what it is. Analytics repository is a place to help data scientists discover, share, comment on the research or on the studies they already do. So like I mentioned before, but I don't know, 40% of the work of a data scientist to create machine learning products. There's the entire side of creating business value or assisting business in creating decisions, which are done mostly as report. Like the final output of that work is a report. But the notebook or the code that was used to create a report is also very important, and often on large companies this is completely lost. Analytics repository is something to solve that. Think like a CMS for data scientists. So on that note, what I did look this week was an idea of it was a tutorial shared on Twitter on how to run JupyterLite with GitHub Actions. I'll change this to GitLab pipelines later or GitLab pages later, but this is something very cool because this is running on the browser. There's no server here, so I can open a Python notebook, and this uses a WebAssembly and compiles the Python into WebAssembly. So the entire thing here is just running Python on the browser. which is really cool if you think about it, because one of the use cases that we had for this analytics repository when I implemented this before on an organization I work for was tutorials. So people would just create tutorials on Jupyter Notebooks and add to that analytics repository that others could try out. And you could have an entire tutorial running on the browser rather than depending on the server or anything like that, which is a pretty cool idea. You could also have, for example, runbooks running like this. I don't know. It's very, very interesting and something we can explore down the road. So those were the 4 points that I had for this week. Very short. Well, thank you all for watching this one. Oh, one last thing that I forgot. You might have been missing. I was talking before about model registry. And I'm not talking about model registry anymore. Why? Because model registry is, we feel that it's just such a certain use case of GitLab for machine learning that it's not even useful to have a POC, a proof of concept here. And I myself, as an incubation engineer, cannot maintain an entire model registry as a feature. So I am not going to implement model registry. I'm not going to be working on model registry. That doesn't mean model registry isn't coming to GitLab. It's just not coming through me. And that's the update that I had for today. Thank you all for joining, and see you the next time.